doing hip and heart openers, and it's just going to be a shorter class, probably about 45 minutes long. And we'll try and cover everything here. So we'll get started. All you need is your mat and blocks if you would like to use them. We'll get started in child's pose. So bring your knees wide and big toes touching. We're going to stretch forward and breathe into the spine. Take a long deep breath in and a long deep breath out through the mouth or through the nose. You let the day go. On your inhale, lift up, walk off the mat to the left side, reaching at an angle, bowing towards your right knee now. Going over to the other side. And then releasing, come on back to center. Let's come up into tabletop position, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Come around the spine, come into a cat arch, and then inhale, release the belly, lift your chin, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale and inhale. Then slow that motion down. So we're going to lift the right leg back behind you and then bring that right knee behind the left knee and then start to walk your hands forward and pull the hips back. So if you would like to just get a little more into the chest, into stretching the throat, you can bring your chin down to the floor, resting on the floor. If that feels like it's too much extension through the spine, then just forehead down to the floor. Slowly lift up, inhaling. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then lift your right leg and swing it out to the right, and then lift your right arm up to the sky. Release down and then walk over to your right foot, bow to your right knee. Walk back and then pivot your foot, bring that foot in just a little bit and then point the toes so they're going outwards and you're just kind of in this tabletop position with your thigh here. Bring your right forearm, elbow onto that thigh, and then we're just going to do the side stretch. So you should feel the stretch in your left hand, left side of the body. If you would like to reach down to the floor, this should feel a lot like extended side angle here as we're opening the inner thigh here. We're getting into that hip flexor on that left side and the right side. You can use a block to do this if you can't quite reach the floor, but up here feels like it's not getting it enough, then you need to kind of go down a little bit more, and you can use a block underneath your hand. Okay, we're going to release out of there and then just go ahead and straighten that leg again, and then we're going to reach back. I'm just going to spin around this side. So we're going to kind of do a half camel here. So you can grab onto the heel. If that feels like it's too much, you can tuck your toes under here. And then we're just going to look over the left shoulder. Now, if you want to, you're looking up at the ceiling. Hips pressing forward. come out, you can just let that arm drop across your face and leave off of the left side, come down to the center, and then bring everything back in to tabletop pose. Switching sides, so that left leg is going to go back, tuck the left knee behind the right knee, and then start walking down. So this version of puppy pose here, getting into, again, outer hip, maybe the IT band glutes here, and you can open the chest by even more by bringing the chin onto the floor or face onto the floor. Should feel like a big stretch in the chest here, big chest opener. And then slowly lift. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift up that left leg, swing it out to the left. And then right away lift the left arm up. Bring it down, walk over to the left foot and reach towards it as best as you can, bowing your head towards the left knee. Releasing out. Okay, come on up, sliding that foot so that the knee is pointing out. Again, you're just kind of making that tabletop version, tabletop with your leg, toes pointing out to the left. And then bringing that left forearm onto the thigh, opening up that right side, or going down further. Try to open up that shoulder. You're kind of leaning back enough so that you can feel the stretch in your hip. And then slowly lifting up. Straighten that leg out again, and then looking over your shoulder. You can tuck your back toes under your right toes this time, and you're reaching back and maybe looking over the right shoulder here for this heart opener. You can look up at the ceiling if that feels better. Keeping that left leg engaged here to help support your pose. Hips pressing forward so the glutes are engaged to help with your hips moving into extension. To come out of the pose, you're looking over the right shoulder. Let that arm follow through to bring you out to center. And then you're coming back to tabletop position. So let's do a cow-cat in tabletop. Rounding release. Okay, we'll walk the hands forward and come up into downward facing dog from there. Walk it out. Bending into the right knee, left knee. Looking underneath the armpits. Go ahead and lift your right leg up into the air. You can bend into the right knee to do that. So we're going to step forward with the right foot. Drop the left knee down to the floor and reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale and bring the hands down to the floor. Step back into plank pose and lower through chaturanga. Bring it into up dog. Exhale to down dog. Second side. Lift the left leg up. And then step your left foot forward. Bring your right knee down to the floor. And reach your arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Lift that right leg up again, high to the sky. And then we're going to bring it out to a split plank position. I'll face this way. So back leg is straight and your right leg is just coming up maybe as high as you can here. Now pushing back through that left leg as best as you can here, reaching back through the ankle, and then lifting the leg and pulling it back or sweeping it back, and then second side. And then you can kind of walk your leg up as close as you can here. Again, that right leg, my back leg is really straight. Straight back behind me, and I'm trying as best as I can to hold this plank, holding my core engaged. And then lifting the leg and then bringing it back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog, exhale to down dog. Right leg lifts up, step forward with the right, and reaching up into lunge, crescent lunge. Taking the hands back behind you, clasp your fingers behind you, pull back, look up. Exhale, bow forward into the inside part of that right knee. Definitely if you need to make more space for yourself, then you're walking your right foot out to the right edge of your mat. Tucking the chin, arms lifting up. Reaching up. Inhale and then twisting to the right. Take the right hand to the back of the left leg and look over the right shoulder. You can look at the ceiling if you want to as well. So to make this more intense, you can sink forward into that front knee and make it more lungy. And then releasing out left arm, right arm, and then step it back. Find plank pose, lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog, come back into downward facing dog and walk it out, pedaling the feet out, breathing it out. Left leg is next here. Lift the left leg high to the sky. Step forward with your left foot up to your hand, and the right knee comes to the floor. Arms reaching up. Take the hands back behind you, clasp behind you. Pull back, look up. Exhale, bow forward. The inside part of your left knee. Tuck the chin. Dropping the head. Think about dropping the top of the head down to the floor. Pulling up through the belly. Lifting the knuckles up to the ceiling or above your head. Rising up. Arms reach up, and then twisting to the left side. Now bring your left hand to the back of the right knee or thigh here, and then looking over your shoulder here. So you can stay looking over, you can look up at the ceiling. Take another deep breath in, and then your exhale, windmill the arms out of that pose. And then step back into plank pose, lower through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Come back up into downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up into the sky, and then we're going to go into wild thing here. So the right leg's going to go over top of the left leg, and then you're going to spin either to that wild thing position with your left leg straight, or you can belly to ceiling, thighs parallel together here, and then you're into that one arm upward facing bow position, which is kind of referred to as rock star most of the time. And then we're going to go back over, flipping the dog to plank, and then up to upward facing dog, and then back into downward facing dog to switch sides. The left leg is going to come up, and then you're just going to fall over. So over top of the right leg, and again, you can do the side plank, you can do the wild thing, which is the right leg straight and the left knee bent, or flipping it all the way around. Think of engaging your glutes to put that hip into extension, open that heart, drop the head back, breathe. So shoulder blades should feel like they're supporting you, that right shoulder blade anyways. And then coming back around to plank pose and lowering through. So bring it into up dog and then come back to child's pose. Just take a moment of rest here. Take a deep breath out through the mouth, up through the nose. And then coming back up here, and then we're going into a hero position, a reclined hero position. So leaning back and taking the hands back behind you, and those are going to bring your shoulder. That's going to bring your shoulder blades together so that you can kind of get some support in your heart opener there. So you could take camel if you would rather not. Put your knees in this flexion if this feels like it's pain. If you have arthritis or an injury, then camel pose is what you'll do. And you can also advance this pose by taking it to thunderbolt pose. You can bring your knees a lot wider and the heels on the outside of your sit bones, and you can sit down and lay down all the way. Okay, so that would be your more advanced position. You can take arms up overhead. As a variation of this pose, and if you have one bolster at home, then you will be putting a bolster at your back here. So you're basically, your knees will be bent back, but you'll just be sitting more upright, kind of more like here. So reclining and not going all the way down, which is a really nice restorative position too, and it can be held for minutes at a time. A really good front body opener, especially with those stretching those quadricep muscles, which tend to overwork quite a bit in a lot of what we do. We're just going to hold this for 2 more deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Take your time here coming back up. You can use your hands to support you and push yourself back up into tabletop position. Bring your forearms onto the floor, and then we'll take dolphin pose. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up. And start pulling the chest towards the tops of the thighs as the belly lifts up into the spine. Keep breathing. All right, and then slowly release, bring the knees back onto the floor, and then come up to downward facing dog again. Walk it out. Lift your right leg up into the air, bend into the knee. Bring your right shin forward up to your wrist and come into pigeon pose. Walk your back leg back, untuck your toes. You can keep your back toes tucked under as well. Stay in the upward pigeon position here to start, and just breathe. So think about sinking the shoulders down, lifting the belly up, lengthening through the sides of your body. So we're just going to kind of play around with the upward position for a little bit longer today. So we're going to walk your hands over to the left side. So just kind of changing the angle of your upper body. So just kind of as far as that feels like a stretch for you. And then over to the right side. And then come back to center. Okay, now you can go forward. You can lay down flatter if you would like to. You can stay in an upright position if you'd like to as well. So we're just going to breathe here. Long deep breaths in, long deep breaths coming out. rise back up. Okay, and then again, just holding that upward pigeon position, maybe bending into your left knee here. So if you'd like to just hold it there, if this feels like a stretch for you, you can just hold it there. If you'd like more of a stretch, look over your right shoulder and grab with your right hand the inside part of your left foot there. Try to stay lifted, so left arm is locked out, kind of lifting you up. You're not leaning forward. You shouldn't feel any pain in the low back. If you do, just try to lift up even taller. Even if you need to go on your fingertips, lift up nice and tall. Again, opening the quadricep muscles here on your left side. And then you can release it from there. Okay, we're going to slowly come out of that position. We're going to walk it up to downward facing dog and walk it out. Come forward into plank pose and lower through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog, exhale to down dog. Second side, lift your left leg up, inhale, and then exhale, bring your left shin forward, and then your right leg extended back behind you. And again, we'll stay in the upward position to start with. Breathing deep, think of the sidelines of your body lengthening. Take a walk with your hands and your upper body over to the right side. And again, you don't have to do, just going to your range of motion, whatever feels like it, your body's just going to stop you from there. Your hips are locked in place, so it's just going to be your upper body that's moving. Maybe it's just your shoulders. And then go over to the other side. And maybe it's, again, not a ton of range of motion, but you're going to feel it a little bit differently depending on what side you're doing, and depending on your right side or left side as well. And then coming back to center, breathing, again sinking the hips down. All right, and then coming down to rest a little bit more. Breathe into the back, breathe into those hips, take those long inhales in and longer exhales out through the mouth. Slowly start to come back up. Okay, so again, just practicing holding the upward position here. Practicing bending into the right knee. So again, this may be all you can do is just bend into the right knee, and that may feel like a stretch for you. If you want to go a little bit further, then your right hand will be supporting you this time, and the left hand will be reaching back for the inside part of your right foot this time. And then again, pulling the foot to stretch deeper through the hip flexor, through the quadricep muscle, pulling the heel in towards the seat. Try to stay lifted and long here, not sinking or leaning too far over to the right, which there's a tendency to do. Try to stay lifted right into the center here. All right, and then releasing out. All right, so gently coming out of that pose and then walking it out in downward facing dog again. Looking underneath your right arm, left arm. Coming through to plank pose and lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog and then exhale to downward facing dog. Breathing it out. Okay, so we're just going to do one balancing pose, and again involving some hips here. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold, and then inhale, rise up. So that's a pose we've done before with a little bit of a twist here. So a standing figure four position here with the heart opener. The heart opener is going to be the hands clasped back behind and then bowing forward with the arms overhead. So we're going to balance on the left foot first. Let's do right foot first. And then the left leg is in the figure four position. So flex that foot, sink back here. So for the heart opener, is just you're going to take the hands back behind you. I'll just face this way so that you can see. And then you're going to be sinking back, pulling the hips back and bowing the chest towards the shin. You can do this sitting down. So this is a good desk stretch, by the way, if you're sitting down at your desk. But it's an excellent balance exercise as well, focus tool. Okay, we're gonna slowly come out and then release. So shake it out, and then we'll go into the other side. So balancing on the left foot, and then the right leg will be crossing over. If you can't get your arms back behind you, it feels like you're not getting anything, you can, just to try it out, take your hands back behind you and grab onto opposite elbows or forearms here for this one, just as an experiment, and that'll pull your shoulders back as well. You can also use a strap back behind you and pull that back behind you, or a bar. But otherwise, fingers clasping, shoulders pulling back away from the ears. Try not to fall. It's a tricky balance pose. All right, and then slowly start to come back. Okay, so again, shake it out. We're gonna step to the top part of the mat and sweep arms overhead. Inhale, up, exhale, fold forward. So just stay in that forward fold for a moment here. Breathe into the back, breathe into the backs of the legs. So take an inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. Or sorry, step back into plank pose. Lower through chaturanga. And then inhale into upward facing dog. And then we're gonna come onto the belly. So again, I'll do some more heart openers, shoulder openers. Here we're going into bow position. Bend into the knees, grab onto the feet. If you have straps and you need straps, then definitely go ahead. If you would just like to do froggy position with your forehead on the floor, like so, then you can also do that as opposed to the extension that we'll put on or back in bow. If you enjoy that extension, then begin pulling up, lifting the feet up, rolling the shoulders back, pulling the feet away from the hands. Try to bring the feet together behind you as well. All right, and then slowly start to release there, 1 foot at a time. So just resting on the mat, one cheek to the floor, arms in cactus, and breathing. Okay, so next is shoulder and chest opener and the hip opener. We're going to start with the left arm extending out straight from the left shoulder as best as you can here. What we're going to do is bring the right hand right by the chest and lift that right knee up, bend into the knee, and then bring the side of the left head onto the floor, and then we're going to roll open and then maybe bring that foot back behind you. So all the weight will be resting on that shoulder, on that armpit, and in your head. And then you can kind of work on getting the hips a little more open by pointing this right knee up towards the ceiling. Make sure you're breathing pretty consistently. Take another deep breath in and out. And then you can slowly melt out of that position. Bring your left arm in nice and slow and cactus it. Look to the left and just take a rest. Other side. Right arm reaching out from the shoulder. The left hand is going to be underneath your shoulder. Your left knee is going to lift up, leg is going to lift up, and then you're going to roll open the hip. So laying on your side pretty much, and again, just kind of working on how your hips feel, working on rotating open that way. Take another deep breath in and out. And then slowly release. Come on back out and bring it down. Bring your right arm in nice and slow. Look to the right. All right, then slowly come on up. So we're going to press up, go back up to tabletop pose. We'll do cow-cat. Exhaling and inhaling. And then spin around so that you're on your seat. We're just going to go into Sukhasana here. So cross-legged, just a regular cross-legged position. To do a twist, we're going to twist to the right side first. So left hand comes back behind you. Lifting the spine nice and tall. Switching sides, over to the left. But dropping the knees down at the same time. And releasing. Coming forward in a forward fold. Getting down as low as you feel like you want to go. Breathing into the back. Breathing into the belly. Take your arms back behind you and do the same. So palms just facing up towards the ceiling. And releasing. Switching the cross in your legs. And folding forward. Taking your arms back alongside your body, back behind you, bowing forward. And then releasing. Come on back up, and then we'll get onto the spine from here. Rolling like a ball, grab onto the backs of the knees. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, rock forward. You can just go right to happy baby pose if you would like to skip this pose. Alright, coming back to happy baby pose. Grabbing onto the knees, the shins, or grabbing onto the feet or toes. Breathing into the hips here, rocking from left to right. Okay, releasing. Hold on to the right knee. And then extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. If possible, you can grab onto your right toes with your right hand, right peace sign fingers, and hold on with the back of your, hold on with your left hand at the back of your right leg. Or you're using a strap, or you're just holding on with both hands at the back of the leg there. If this feels uncomfortable in your back, you could try bending into your left knee, and that'll put your lower back a little bit flatter and flush to the floor. Okay, now we're going to lift up and bring the head towards the knee. So pulling a little bit more with a little more activation here. At the same time, try to draw the belly down to the floor. Down. Slowly start to bend into that right knee and then pull it in towards the chest and then guide it over to the left side. Reach your right arm up to the right. You can play around with straightening that leg too and holding on to that right leg straight with your left arm. Play around with the range of motion in your right arm, raising it above your shoulder, below your shoulder. yourself a hug with just that knee, and then switching sides. Bring your left knee in for a hug, straighten out that right leg or bend into the knee, foot flat to the floor, and then straighten it out. Breathing into the stretch. Okay, bringing yourself in towards your leg. Keep drawing the belly down towards the floor. And then release the head back onto the floor. Bend into the left knee, give it a pull in, and then guide the left knee over to the right side. Reach your left arm out to the left. Okay, find one more deep breath in and deep breath out here. Slowly release, come back to center. Give both knees a big hug in. Deep breath into your spine. Let it go. Windshield wipers, feet to the floor, knees bent, arms out to a T position, and drop your knees left to right. Alright, and then slow that motion down, come into Shavasana position. Arms are pulled in alongside the body. You can take as much space as you would like to. Using any props you need to, bolsters or blankets to help minimize any distraction that you think you might feel in the next few moments. Letting the feet open to the sides, palms open to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in through the nose, fill up the lungs, expand the belly, and then take a long deep breath out through the mouth, nice and slow, emptying the lungs, emptying the belly. Completely empty out all the air before you take your next inhale in again. Bring some sound along with that exhale. So you're exhaling just layers of any tension that you may feel, any stress that you may feel. Think about exhaling it all out. Allowing your body to become more and more still with every exhale you take. Start to feel the heels dig into the floor a little bit more. Relaxing through the calves, backs of the legs, through the glutes and through the sides of the hips. Now just breathing into the hips right now. Inhaling, expanding on your exhaling, and see if you can relax through the hips now through the low and mid and upper back. Feel contact space of your back take up more and more mat space. Allow your shoulder blades to spread out even more, pull down, tops of the shoulders to relax. And allow the backs of the arms to feel heavy and rested on the floor or on your mat. Bring your awareness back up to the sides of the neck. Allow some space to happen there. Allow the back of the neck to relax and let go of the head so that its weight is fully supported by your mat and by the floor and by the earth. Bring your awareness to your hairline, forehead, letting all the lines smooth out. Around to the eyebrow line and letting the eyelids start to feel heavier. All the muscles around the eyes to relax. The cheekbones to soften. And then further relaxing mouth, jaw, and tongue in your mouth. Awareness back into your breath, coming in through the nose. And leaving out through the nose as well. Notice your breath rhythm. Begin to soften the throat, the chest, and through the abdomen. Feel your whole body begin to relax even more. The back, front, the right side, the left side, the whole body together, breathing together and relaxing together. Attention back to your breath. Allow the breath to come in and allow your chest to rise, expand along with your sides of your body and back. Just kind of feel the breath weaving through your body. From your feet right up to your head, down through your arms to your hands. Spreading that energy all around, and then start that movement. Fingers, toes, and any add-ons. You're moving around in your arms, moving around in your head, yawning, bending into your knees, going to wipers. Keep that breath coming in, going out, flowing along here. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out, and just think about your relaxed body breathing right now as you come out of Shavasana. Really tuning into how you feel after this practice, after just resting for that short amount of time. Really sealing in this experience. And just having lots of gratitude for your own body and being able to do your practice. Have the time and the energy. So just taking your time, rolling and rocking over onto your right. And making your way up to seated from there. So namaste everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. Have a great week. Just doing one class a week right now because I'm back in the studio for now. So just on Mondays, and then I'll see how it goes. So I might do kind of half hit and half Vinyasa flow, or just kind of depending on how I feel. I might just do Vinyasa flow or just a whole hit class. So let me know what you think about the half and half or the shorter videos, and or if you'd like the longer videos more, just let me know. Yeah, check out other videos on my Facebook page under videos and Melissa Shippey's YouTube channel. Like this video if you liked it, and share it if you liked it even more, and have a great week everybody. Bye.